Morning all, it's October and we're off out with the Black Country and Severn Valley Royal Enfield group, which myself and a few others set up about 5 months ago. We travel around the Severn Valley area, mid Severn Valley that is, so Ironbridge to Stourport, Worcester sometimes, quite a bit. We do bits, but rarely do we string them together. So today we're going to do a variation on a ride I did, I think 4 years ago. We're going to go from the foot stop cafe Quatford, as far south as Stourport on Severn, back up to Ironbridge other side of the river, and then back down through Bridgnorth to Quatford. It's 60 miles.
Right folks, we're ready. We've got Gary there on a much tweaked 90s Enfield Bullet, Johnny here of course, and Jonathan on his 350 Classic. We're gonna go left, which is the most difficult way because it does mean we've got a couple of right turns to make later on. One is really awkward to get out of, but yeah, do it any way you like. Today we're doing it clockwise. Plenty of yakking and tea, breakfast, so much so it's now dinner time. Which turned out really nice. Let's hope it stays as it is. I'll point out a few things as we go, eateries and what have you. We're just on the left, 100 yards back, Dudmaston Woods National Trust. It's only the second time out on Johnny since I've had to do a spot of repairs with the PAV system. The hose that comes from the head, or goes to the head, whichever way it works, to the reed valve assembly that allows extra air into the exhaust to clean up the burn. That hose had gone. Got a new one of them, which was quite difficult to find the right part because Hitchcock's didn't stock it, but there's a new part with a C on the end instead of A. That's replaced it. And then I spotted that the reed valve itself was knackered, so that was 72 quid, but I don't think it had ever been put together properly. Dudmaston Hall over there on your right, behind all those trees and parked cars. If you like your green laning, there's several round these parts. Enjoy them responsibly folks. Maybe one day we'll get around to doing that. Through Quat. On the right here, the Quat Farm Shop. Teas, cakes, sausage rolls, that sort of thing. Soups. Quite a range. More expensive than Quatford, but at least on a summer weekend you can actually get in there. You don't have to wait too long. The ferry across the river down this road here, no longer in operation, so forget that folks. It was only for passengers, nothing else. This route's about well, I would say 99% rural. We do have slightly busy roads like this one, and it can be a bit slow. When we're doing 48 now, and it's a 60 mile an hour bit, and as usual there's something not doing anything like the speed limit. Into Alveley, we were going to turn off this A road and head out onto the little country lanes. There's plenty of little places you can visit by just turning off the route and changing the route slightly if you wish. Just over here, just to the right there, the pub, oldest pub in Shropshire there, the Three Horseshoes, 1406, church up the top. Now we have, at least I think we have, lost one of the eateries, one I've never got a chance to go in, and that's coming up here on the left. It sort of looks lived in. The old church or church hall here used to be a little cafe cum tea room. The old chapel, well, it's I'll have to look into that one, see if it's open. But now we're onto the little lanes now, trying to follow the river for the most part as close as possible. Now the houses in the distance there, granted it might be a bit difficult with the GoPro, but houses the other side of the river. That's Highley. We'll be going through there later. On the right here, Severn Valley Country Park. Amongst other things, yeah, cakes and soups and stuff. It's a quid to park a car, I don't know about bikes. Arley Arboretum on the right has changed its name to Arley House and Gardens. Either way, cakes and stuff. I'll try to do a route so you don't go back on yourself, but we will have to for this little bit later on. We're going down into Arley Village. Tea room on the right. Not open today. We're going to stop down here and have a picture. Ta very muchly. Sun's in the wrong place as usual. First time on the kickstart. That don't happen very often. Many years ago, some idiot, can you guess who that was? Lost the back end of his sprint going down here, taking the notice of the recently thrown down tar and gravel. I've heard of that again. No harm, but new pair of underpants you might say. Right, as you probably saw there, Shatterford. We're coming up to the main road again. We're going to turn right here towards Kidderminster, but not for very far, and that rarely happens. They should all get out just about. Yep. Wow. But you ain't got to go far because we've got to turn right here. And we're after Trimpley. I suppose they'll get across there, but you never know. Nah. Still, not too bad. If you remember as a kid back in the mid-80s, about 84 I think it was, Christmas programme called The Box of Delights. Much of it was filmed locally, not all of it. Some was in Aberdeen, some was in Herefordshire, some at Eastnor Castle near the Malverns. But the main house where they all lived over the holiday period, I think it was Sea Kings, and it was just back there, I say, no more than about a mile away. Now you can see through the trees the far side of the river again. And Sea Kings is over to our left, just out of shot. They also used Kinlet Hall, which we'll be passing alongside later on. Another awkward right turn, you can't see what's coming really. Coming into Bewdley. Apparently back in the 60s a former manager of mine come off his motorbike and hit this bridge and the marks are still in the wall. I'm yet to ever find the marks. Now Bewdley, the only problem with Bewdley is parking. They stopped you parking on the North Quay, before it was double yellows. They stopped you parking on the South Quay, and they've put all, you can probably see there, plant boxes and seating. There is parking, but it is quite busy at times. But I can recommend Teddy Gray's ice creams. If you want, where we just turn left, just follow the road round to the right across the bridge and you can cut the journey short and head north that way. But we're going to go off to Stourport to cross the river. Stourport itself is not too bad. It's probably not as, shall we say, ornate as Bewdley, but it has the fair. It has a nice park. It does have a tea room, at least one. Several pubs by the river, one of which I think it's called the Angel. They have bike nights, or they did do. Not been down to one this year. It is a little bit more urban to get there, I suppose, but needs must to cross the river for what is a very nice road to come back up towards Bewdley. You could have come from the left there, but today's rule is follow the river as close as possible. You can cross the river here by turning right, going over the bypass bridge. And if you're going to head sort of over towards Leominster, that way is probably your best option, because Bewdley can be rammed at times. On the right, even though it's sandstone, that's Blackstone Rock. I've climbed that many years ago. Now it's probably easier to go straight on. You go down to the main traffic lights, turn right, follow the one-way system round. But that way you do miss out the main street, which is a good thing if you're just driving through. But we'll show you a bit of Stourport by going this way, although I may get a little bit lost at the end because of the said one-way system. There's the park, or the one end of the park. We're going to go right then left. This is working out very well indeed. Main high street's up there. We don't have to go round. We'd have to go around the one-way system completely. Canal here. Staffs and Worcester Canal. We've got the basin. We're going to pull over on the left here if we can. Yes, we can. Which is right by a tea room actually. Closed today. Closed on Mondays. We'll stop at the fair.
Stop where?
At the fair. Now we're at the other end of the high street. I think we can stop by the fair, and I'll need to change a flipping GoPro battery. Whilst we wait for the others, try and find a neutral somewhere. There we are. Stourport. Back in the day, sort of a holiday resort for folks from the Black Country and that, and still is in some ways. Probably more day trips than anything else. A few arcades, tea rooms. There was one there, I don't know that one, not been in that one. It seems though several of them are closed today, it being a Monday. They've probably been open all weekend, and I don't think we're going to make the one at Kinlet because they close at 2. So, over the bridge, park there, over the River Severn. So that way Worcester, Gloucester and the Bristol Channel. Of course we're going north, and I'll tell you what is new as well, we're finding out things today. You think, you know, there's a calf down there, the bridge calf. We'll have to try that one. Now you can go up a few, well, it's probably a mile and a half, maybe 2, and turn right at the main crossroads. But again, where possible, we're going to stick to the river. You could extend the ride down to Worcester if you wish, but the opposite side of the river is a main road down to the 449 for much of it, so it's not quite as nice. This side's not too bad though, up through places like Hallow and Holfleet. That's pretty decent. Take you right up to Stourport, and this is where we turn back north for Bewdley. This is a nice bit of road. Can be a bit slimy though, and if you naff up you're probably going to get wet. You'll see why in a bit. Coney Green Farm on the left. Sometimes have pre-65 scrambling there. Well, it's been a few years since I saw that, but yeah, there's a track. It looks like it's used a lot. They used to have the Land Rovers go around there, but I don't know if they still do. I wonder how Mr. Jonathan's doing on his 350 Bullet. One of the slime bits here. There's a lot of seeds, conkers and things like that on the road this time of year. Now folks, remember I said if you naff up you'll get wet. The reason for that is, for example, just behind this car is the River Severn. Just there. And this is probably as close as you're going to get actually. I mentioned Blackstone Rock earlier. Well, it's just the other side of those trees. But here's another nice bit of road. And it's a lot quicker coming to Bewdley that way than the other side. This is the back of Bewdley. Very nice around this side. Very narrow. One of the pubs I think here was used. Maybe that one. Not sure. In the Box of Delights. That requires a bit more research. It might be the feature of a video, a Christmas video one year. And here we are, the other side of the river. The bridge is there. You might be lucky and be able to park in the high street, which is handy for your Teddy Gray's ice cream. Into Shropshire. Several places to park should you wish. Hawks Batch there. You can walk around the forest. There's I think 3 or 4 similar places up this road before we get to Kinlet. Dropping into Button Oak. If you want to go back to the river directly, turn right here, takes you right down back to the footbridge, the opposite side to where we were. There is a pub down there. We've got 7 minutes to get to the cab. I don't know if we can get a few drinks. It does say till 2 still. Yeah, we'll try. I think we might be too late. We've picked up another member, Nathan and his 350 Meteor. Just made it in time, thank you very much. With 5 minutes to spare, we still got a drink. So cheers, cabin calf. Going back to the Box of Delights, we should be able to see one of the other places it was filmed. The Christmas party, the church Christmas party was filmed at Kinlet Hall, which you can't see because it's covered in scaffolding, but it's that there. We'll make a right here now for Highley. We're all here. Now you can make 2 different routes here. It's all going very autumnal here, isn't it? 2 ways you can go to Highley. We're sticking with our follow the river rule for the day, so we're going to go straight on. But if you want to cut out the majority of Highley, just up here on the left, there's a little left turn. It's a nice little cut off actually. You go down on the left here and you go across Borley Muck, sorry, not Borley Muck, Borley Mill or Borley Brook. Go past over Borley Muck. I nearly said it again, Borley Brook. And then up the hill, end of the road, turn left, follow the road to the end, turn right, first left, and you cut out most of Highley. But this way, I've seen some trials down here as well, years and years ago. It's quite an undulating road and it has suffered with subsidence at times, so it's certainly a bit twisty, but it can be very up and down. Looks like there was a deer there on the side of the road, or what was left of it. You've got all these nice trees. See all the bikes in the rear looking very good. Looks like it's been resurfaced very recently, so it's not too bad. There's an odd dip here and there, mind. I don't usually come that way, to be honest, so it makes a change. You can just see the clear hills to the left, just peeking above the top there. And we're coming into Highley. Turn right here for the station. And the ship inn. There's a cafe I spotted here some months ago. Not been in it myself. There you are, the Snack Shack. Need to try that. Severn Miners Cafe as well. That's another one to try. It's another new one on me. Yes folks, there used to be a mine. Well, sort of the area what the country park is the other side of the river. There used to be an aerial ropeway to bring up the coal towards the railway station. Now, if you do take the shortcut, you come out here after turning right at that junction there. You come out here, turn left. Now turn right just past where this tractor is for Hampton Load Station, the Unicorn Inn. Hampton Load's Classic British Bike Meet, which is a free event and sees quite a few bikes, is the second Sunday of October every year. Free to enter, just turn up around 10:30 till about 3 I suppose, and of course you get all sorts of bikes and makes turn up for a good yak, some tea and cake. Now there's another, I won't say shortcut because it takes you too long, but there is a different route you can take by turning left here through Astbury, and it cuts out the bit of road that goes past Erdington Halt. Erdington Halt on the left here. About 20 years ago on a 40s weekend they changed just a few letters to make Warmington. You can work that one out yourselves. Little nature reserve on the left into Erdington. There you are. Coming up on the left, Daniel's Mill, a working water mill. Also a cafe, which generally opens I think Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays and bank holidays, but maybe open more in the 6-week holidays. And we turn right here. There's an alternative route that cuts out Highley completely, which comes down the hill behind us, what was our left. We're going to turn left here into Hightown under the footbridge of course. I think we're all going to get out in one. That rarely happens. Bridgnorth station up there, Castle Walk up the top there, remains of the castle as well of course. If you want you can cut the run short, go over the bridge in Lowtown and back to Quatford if you wish. Main part of the town is straight on, but we're going to turn left. You can go straight into the town, or at least I think you can, and then turn left to come down here from the right, but I'm not sure if you can still turn left to come back under the archway, which you may be able to see. Yeah, there. last battery died about 3 mile away, which is great. Not. We've had the traditional pork pie. We've also had an Ironbridge pasty and a coffee. Multitude of eateries here. Pubs, fish and chip shops. So we go back the way we come to the new bridge, and then we go off to Coalport, which is a nice little bit, but it's the turn right back down to Sutton Maddock. It's the nasty one, we'll say. Of course, Ironbridge, there's a shed load of museums. I think it's about 10 or 12 of them, but don't pay individually. Buy the annual ticket, which is probably about 60 quid now, but it's cheaper by far as long as you do them all. Plenty of pubs, as I say, as long as you're prepared to walk a little bit. And now we head south along the river, and again you can extend it as well, extend it as far as Wales if you want to, but you can extend it up to Shrewsbury. A little bit more awkward, of course. Shrewsbury a lot bigger town than any of the ones we've visited today, but there is a nice run this side of the river to Atcham. Very nice run. That's one of the great drives and rides from years ago. A couple of pubs the other side of the river. I think one little one called the Boathouse. That's a cute little pub, that is. It was being renovated last time I saw it a few years ago because it got flooded, and to be honest, it's right on top of the riverbank. It's going to get flooded probably every other winter. Right, we'll take a right here. Left would be up towards Madeley and Telford. Tar. This is Coalport. If you've heard of the China, this is where it used to be made, and you can still see some of the history there. Behind there there's a cafe as well. Just up here on the left is a place I stop, well, it's just happened really, but every time I have a new machine. The petrol pump there. If you don't want to risk the awkward right turn, turn right here over the bridge. There's a pub behind those trees called the Wood Bridge, because the bridge up there used to be wood, not now of course. If you go that way, eventually you'll end up going back the way we came into Ironbridge, but you just turn left and head back to Bridgnorth. And then we climb up out of the Severn Valley, and here's the worst junction, only because of the amount of traffic, but the worst junction of the trip. Of course, if you do it anti-clockwise, it's nothing at all. What I should have done is turn left, gone up the road there, come round the island and come back. Oh, made it? Well, not too bad. River Severn's just over there, just past the trees at the edge of the field. And here we are coming back into Bridgnorth. on the low town side, of course. Well, low town, not the side, that's the other side of the river. There's the town up there. Just a few miles to go. Nice bit of twisties to the left up the Hermitage. We left about 20 past 12 and it's now 5 to 4 nearly, and if we'll make the cafe at Quatford for drinks. Mind you, we've had a few. Overall, without stopping, you could do it in about 2 hours, maybe a little bit less. But of course, that's not really what it's about. It's about enjoying the roads, most of which are quite decent, twisty or quite close to the river, through the countryside, and stopping off for tea and cakes. And here we are, back at Quatford. If it's really rammed at the food stop, you can always go to Tony's Diner. Now be careful when you enter the car park from this side, especially on a weekend, because they put a rope across, because it's a different business on the one side. Oh, nice Kawasaki Z650 there, an original. And here we are, possibly just in time for a drink. That's it, folks, the Severn Valley 60.